All right, we're going deep with Mo Vaughn joining us once again, the former MVP with us. Mo, how you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Hey, kind of a strange over the last couple of weeks scenario out in L.A. First, the Angels essentially telling Albert Pujols that there's not a future for him on the team. They can't come to any sort of agreement. He winds out signing with the Dodgers. Now you got to play across town. Last night he plays for them. He drives in a run. You've been there as a former MVP walking into a new clubhouse. What's that like? What are the expectations, the leadership that's expected of you? Is it a little strange to go in as a former MVP and start all over with a new team?
I think it's great. You probably got a breath of fresh air. He probably was, the excitement, the adrenaline kicked right back in. He's on a great team. He's back in a league that he knows from playing in the National League all those other years. And he's in a situation where they're built to win. So for him, it was probably just going in, being himself, being a leader, again, probably taking care of the young guys, giving information. I'm sure they're looking to him for information also. So for him, I thought it's a great move.
You bring up a good point about going to a winner, right? The story out of Anaheim is that he didn't really want to play a limited role with the Angels, but then he was quick to say, I'll do anything with the Dodgers. But you got to think he's looking at the Dodgers as a chance to win a ring on the way out of town, right?
Absolutely. You're in a situation where you know that Dodgers team's going to turn it around at some point. They're built to try to win a championship. He's been there. I think it's a great situation for him. He's going to play against left-handed pitching. He knows that coming into the game, and he can offer a lot of information and toolage to a team that really already knows how to do it because they did it last year. But a guy like Albert is always going to be beneficial to a ball club.
All right, so 4 former MVPs on that team. Pujols, Mookie Betts, Cody Bellinger, Clayton Kershaw. The last team to have 4 former MVPs, the 1996 Red Sox. Mo, you were one of them. Can you name the other 3?
Yes, you got Roger Clemens, Kevin Mitchell, and Jose Canseco.
I knew you'd have that one easily. Kevin Mitchell, I think, is the one that stumps a lot of people. I'm not sure many people remember he was on that 96 team. Do you remember that team and that collection of not just talent, because, all major league teams are loaded with great players, great athletes, but you're talking about 4 former MVPs. I mean, that's very unique. Do you remember that collection of players?
Great guys. A lot of experiences. Those years, probably if we had a little bit more consistent pitching and bullpen, could have gone a little bit further. But you're walking into a clubhouse with guys that have done a lot. They have, what Roger would say, some credentials to your name. Just a lot of veteran leadership. It was a great team to be a part of. My 95 and 96 years were my best years I ever had. I thank Jose Canseco and all the guys for being around me at that time. So those was a good time for me.
All right, we're going to stick in L.A. here. You played for the Angels, but what we're seeing right now from Shohei Ohtani is stuff that we've never seen before. I mean, maybe you got to go back to Babe Ruth, and none of us are old enough to remember that. But are you amazed by what this guy is doing, both on the mound and 12 home runs? I mean, that one he hit yesterday was up around the bill of the cap, 94 miles an hour, and he crushed it for a home run.
This guy has a tremendous extension, balance, and flexion. And you see the launch angle after the ball has been hit, what a guy like this can do. But he can go the other way. He's got power to all fields. He's just an awesome in talent. And then to get on the mound and be able to throw the ball mid to upper 90s, all he has to do is stay healthy. He's going to be great for the Angels moving forward.
It's great for baseball. I think kids love it. You're a young fan watching this game right now. What's more exciting than watch a guy, last week he threw 7 innings, struck out 10. The next day he was the leadoff hitter. It was unbelievable.
It's awesome. I mean, it's just, it just goes to show, the physical strength and how, our players in the game are so much well prepared physically and mentally, and all of the advances that they're doing, working out. It just goes to show when you see a guy like that doing both, that it can be done. But don't get it twisted. This guy is very, very special. to be doing what he's doing.
No doubt about that. Mo, stay right there. We're going to come back in a few minutes. Lenny Denardo going to join us. Going to ask your MVP for the first quarter now that we're a quarter of the way through this season. All right, we are back with Mo Vaughn going deep here as he joins us each week. Mo, we've talked a lot about Bobby Dahlbeck with you. And this is a guy you and Jim Rice a couple weeks ago really broke down when he's flying open, when that foot's getting up the line, third base side, how tough it is. Suddenly he's more compact. 321 over the last 8 games. He's made some nice adjustments. What have you seen in Bobby Dahlbeck here over the last week or two?
Just staying through the ball, realizing that his power is dead center, staying on the ball, staying on the breaking ball, understanding the pattern of how they're getting him out. And when he's, the main thing about hitting is if the pitcher's going to go out there and make perfect pitches, you're not going to hit. But you have to hit the mistake, and he is pounding it time and time after again. So I'm very excited for him. But the main thing is just get your sights out in the middle of the field, stay down and through the ball. He's already got power, doesn't have to do too much to juice it, and just get through it. So he's doing great.
And now we see the back end of the lineup starting to produce, right? The bottom third of the order starting to get involved. The heart of the order has been cranking all year. Rafael Devers now in the middle of the lineup. He's still so young. Sunday's home run, a great example of how strong he is. What do you see in Rafael Devers? Such a good, young, strong left-handed hitter.
I just see so much ability, so much that he's going to learn and get better at just by walking to home plate consistently. This guy walks to home plate 600 times. He's going to hit 30 home runs and driving 100 runs. And then his ability to get to the ball, his ability to hit all types of pitches. This guy's a 300 plus hitter. So he's just got tremendous ability. He's showing that he's going to learn the strike zone even more, hits the ball to all fields. But this guy, I don't know what you call it, potential or whatever you want to call it. But I just think walking to home plate next year, he's going to really blossom into a great hitter, which he already is now.
Mo, we've seen him get to pitches 8 to 10 inches off the dish. When you're talking to a young player, how do you coach him through that? Because he's the type of player that can get to those pitches, but the fact that he can get to them can hurt him late in the game. Guys are making pitchers pitches, and we see him sometimes as a young player kind of expand the strike zone when he should be shortening a little bit. How do you go about coaching a young player and having him change his mentality during certain points of the game?
Listen, we want him to be able to get through those pitches. The fact that he can do that is outstanding, because when it gets nasty, when it gets to the playoffs, and guys are running that ball off the plate, and you need to stay there and stay balanced and flexed and through the ball, he can do that. It's just now that, and that's what I say, walking to home plate and understanding how to drive in runs, he will eventually learn how to shrink his strike zone and not be offering at any of those pitches. And then he just becomes completely devastating. But I'm glad he can do those things. To be that big and be able to be that flexible to hit those pitches is a great thing. Within time and with him getting older, he will understand what exactly they're trying to do and spit on those pitches and take those pitches. And it's going to be make him even devastating later on and later in the year, later in his career. But it's all about walking to home plate and getting those at-bats under your belt.
Still only 24 years old. Absolutely remarkable what he's doing. All right, Mo, we've played a quarter of the season here. It's very early, but start to look at this team and figure out what they're all about. Who's your MVP a quarter of the way through the season?
I got co-MVPs. I had it just, Rafael, but I got Barnesy also. I mean, for him to come in and take on that closer's role and be as strong, as consistent as he is, I think both of those guys really deserve to be the co-MVPs at this quarter of the season. You know about, Sander Bogart, and you know about JD, but Rafael is one of those guys that you didn't know about, you heard about him, and he's coming up with a lot of great 2-out hits to break people's backs in ball games. So I think those two are the ones for me.
Who do you got?
I'm going with Bogaerts, and this is a pretty cool thing because Mo Vaughn actually went with a pitcher, and here I am. I'm going with a position player. I'm going with Bogey only because of what he does offensively, what he can bring to the table defensively, what he brings to the clubhouse as well as a leadership role. Everybody's talking about Bogey being the face of the Red Sox, and it's a relatively young team, and they need a little bit of a leadership role. And I think he's really taken to that, and he's run with it.
All right, well, those are good choices, and the beauty of being the host is I don't have to tell you who I'm thinking. I can just prove you guys right or wrong towards the end of the season. Mo, good stuff as always. We appreciate it, my friend.
All right, you guys have a good week.